peeps from near and far. Hope you had a nice week and a very nice Happy New Year celebration. And thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. This week I am going to focus on the people work stream. As I mentioned on my introduction video, it basically covers everything around myself, my husband and my son. And of course, my son is one of the most important sub-projects on that because, of course, he's the light of my life, but also because the schools that we would like for him to attend will basically decide the areas that we would like to live in, so that way we are within the corresponding school zones or encashments. So after a lot of research, there are some basics I have learned, and there are major differences between the Isle of Man, which is the UK school system, and the USA. So in the UK, they start with something called reception when they are 4. In the USA, they have preschool for age 4, but basically starts with kindergarten at age 5, which is that's the stage that is similar to reception. The UK has years, the US has grades. So after kindergarten in the US, you have first grade, second grade, third grade, etc. The UK has a primary and high schools, mostly primary schools and high schools, at least typical in the Isle of Man. But the USA has sort of 3 splits. You have elementary school, which are grades K to 5, and then you have middle year, which are grades 6 to 8, and then high school, which is 9 to 12. In the Isle of Man, there is no standardized testing or daily homeworks for primary education stages, but in the USA, there is standardized testing at the beginning and at the end of the year on all stages, and also it is typical for kids to come home with some assignments. The school year in the UK is usually September to June, with midterms as time off in between. In the USA, it starts on August and ends in May, and you don't have scheduled midterm breaks. And the list goes on, but for now I am focusing on the items that have to do with my son's age group mostly. So right now in the Isle of Man, he is in year 4, which means that for year 26 and 2027 in the USA, he will be in 4th grade. And I am explaining to him that he's not repeating a school year. It just happens that the school system is set differently, and it is not a case of being held behind. And I think he understands that. Moving back to the research of schools and neighborhoods, first we decided on a general area that we were going to move, and I think the more we read, we seem to be leaning more and more to that side, which is the west side of Orlando, a bit north and away from the tourist spots and tourist nightmares. But we are also considering other key spots in the northeast due to middle school ratings and recommendations. My husband is easily swayed by a pool in the house, but I have to keep reminding him that no pool is worth road rage. And then also, as part of the research, I started talking to people who know and live in the area. I have a great friend from childhood that lives in the southeast side. My sister lives in Ocoee, which is west area, and also spoke with a couple of state agents that live in Orlando. We had really good conversations about why we are relocating, my son, his age, sports that he follows, school years, etc., the dog that we have. And I learned also that I need to be searching middle schools in tandem, as he will be just going for the last 2 years of elementary and then moving up. If you're ever doing this, when you talk to people, you should be writing down as much as you can. I scribbled so much. I had Google Maps open so I could see what areas people were talking about. And during the call, I was actually doing searches online just to note down additional resources, but also to be able to ask questions on the fly. Orlando area and the close vicinity is heavily populated. It's about 2.5 million people and gets further aggravated by the tourist traffic. So you have to balance what type of neighborhood you're looking for and the schools, and avoid anything that has too much of that tourist traffic. Then compare the elementary and middle school ratings. And in order to do that, I found a couple of helpful third-party sites to get me started and cross-reference and read reviews. One of them is niche.com and another one is greatschools.org. And no, I have not been paid to mention them. This is just my experience. Both explain to you really well how they do their ratings and their statistics, but also you can read reviews left by parents and students. Then you can compare these third-party ratings and comments to the official school grades in the Florida Department of Education site, which is fldoe.org. And Orange County Public System site, you can see the boundaries or zones for each school. So you can note down names of communities nearby, their zip codes, their postal codes, because they are helpful as well to use as search filters. To search for available homes and start getting ideas of areas, I basically reverse engineering. I start focusing the end results on a school area. So I enter the school name as the main filter on websites like Zillow and Realtor.com instead of using neighborhoods or cities. And after reading a lot and cross-referencing and speaking to more people and reading articles, etc., I sent the two agents the filter or the specs of the areas that we wanted to search for rentals. We have narrowed it down to Winter Garden, Windermere, Dr. Phillips, Winter Park, and Oviedo. And if you know about any other elementary middle school combinations outside these areas that you would like to recommend, please share with me. Nothing is set in stone yet. We're not looking for rentals yet. But remember, we are definitely trying to avoid stressful tourist traffic, as the local traffic, well, is enough as it is. And I think that's enough for today. Next week, I'll move to the houseworks room a bit more and give you some updates about what is going on with the sale, as well as the tools I am using to sell and also give away items. If there are any topics that you would like to hear about this experience, please leave it in the comments and I'll try to cover them and make it part of the recording schedule and see where they fit. Please like and subscribe and feel free to post any comments below. And we'll catch you later next week, and thank you for watching.